We just had a very good conference, members together, but the number one thing that happened at this conference was unity. People were able to air their differences, people were able to focus. And the most important part that came out of this conference was where our focus is at. We think the three major things need to happen. We should be focusing on getting people back to work. Unfortunately, we saw President Biden already cut 1 million jobs. We want to get people back in school. We want anyone that wants a vaccine that they have it. That's the focus that we should be on. And that's actually what we're doing, and united bigger than I've ever seen us in the past.
Why did you make the decision not to remove Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene from her committee assignment?
Well, see, that's not true. I did. We were willing to remove her from Ed and Labor. And when Steny Hoyer had called me, he said that was the complaint they had. And I want to be very clear. We denounce anything that we've seen that was said in that past, from anything with QAnon has no place in our party. And Marjorie Greene actually said that inside our conference today. She said it before, but she said from the shootings and everywhere else. And if that gave people problems, she's a small business owner. So we'd say budget and small business. I was more than willing to do that. The conference was willing to do that. And Steny Hoyer and the Democrats said no. They're going to judge her on things that were said that she has now denounced before she was ever a member of Congress. I just wonder if they take that same standard. Are they going to leave Swalwell on Homeland Security and on Intel? You know, the Speaker has that appointment. She and I were both down in the SCIF, and we heard what the FBI report was. No way would I ever leave him on Intel nor Homeland. I'd question whether he should still be a member of Congress. And then you're going to look at Maxine Waters as a chair of what she incited. There are so many. I wonder if they put that same standard as someone else, because never in the history of Congress has people been deciding where other parties are putting people on committees.
Senator McConnell said her views amount to a cancer for the Republican Party.
Well, I denounce all those comments that were brought up. Everybody, and she came inside our conference and denounced them as well. She said she was wrong. She has reached out in other ways and forms, and nothing that she said has been based upon since she's been a member of Congress. And the voters decided she could come and serve. When she sent and denounced all those, well, inside our chambers, that's exactly what she did. That's what she did inside our conference.
Do Democrats deserve to hear that same apology that she delivered?
Well, I think everybody should hear that. And she has expressed that she has put it out from news agencies and others. I think it would be helpful if you could hear exactly what she told all of us, denouncing QAnon. I don't know if I say it right. I don't even know what it is. Any from the shootings. She said she knew nothing about lasers or all the different things that have been brought up about her. And so from that perspective, she's now a member. If we are now going to start judging what other members have said before they're even members of Congress, I think it's going to be a hard time for the Democrats to place anybody on committee.
Now that she is a congresswoman, if she says something like this again, should she
I think people, now that you're a member of Congress, now it's a responsibility of our conference to hold people accountable. And you know the unique thing is, we have a long history of doing that, just as we were going to change something here. It's on the Democratic side that it's very difficult that they don't ever do that. When Omar made her comments, Wood and Kepper on foreign affairs, we removed Steve King when he made comments as a member of Congress. What's unfortunate is that Democrats don't keep that same standard.
Mr. McCarthy, she has a long history.
Any other question? He asked a lot of stuff. Let's do this. Let me let the whip talk, and let me let Liz Cheney, our conference chair, who just got a resounding shot in the arm, that we got a team. And remember what this team is. This is the exact same team that didn't lose one seat in the last election. When I saw a lot of you write stories about whether this team would survive after we'd lose 15 or 20 seats. No, we didn't lose one member, we gained. And a little later this week, we'll gain another seat as well. We'll be at 213. It'll be the slimmest majority in the history of modern history for Congress. And you know what that's going to mean? 2 years from now, we're going to win the majority. That's because this conference is more united. We've got the right leadership team behind it. And I look forward to watching to make sure we've got the right focus for this country on putting it back on track.
What was the vote count?
Go right ahead.
Thanks, Kevin. Liz, tonight our conference rounded a really important corner. We spent hours where members on every side of this issue looked each other in the eye, aired their grievances, and we're very candid and honest with each other, but address this as a family and address this as a team, and ultimately finally worked to have a vote where we kept the entire team together. And we came out much stronger because now, while we've aired those grievances, everybody tonight was united in knowing that what is happening right now on the House floor, spending today over $2 trillion on a shell budget with no real accountability for what they're going to do with the money when there's over $1 trillion still available to help people get their businesses open. President Biden alone in 2 weeks has signed executive orders to destroy millions of American jobs and ship those overseas. In many cases where they're going to emit more carbon, making the same things we used to make right here in America. And his climate czar has acknowledged that he flies around on his own private plane, emitting 40 times more carbon than if he would have flown on a commercial liner. So the hypocrisy is very clear. The damage that they're doing to our economy is very clear. And our resolve to unite, to fight for the hardworking families of this country, to round the corner on COVID, to get our economy back on track, to safely reopen schools, that resolve has never been stronger after looking each other in the eye, talking through the differences that we had, and finally coming back together as a stronger, united Republican conference. And with that, our conference chair, Liz Cheney.
Thank you very much, Whip, and thanks, Leader. We really did have a terrific vote tonight, a terrific time this evening, laying out what we're going to do going forward, as well as making clear that we're not going to be divided and that we're not going to be in a situation where people can pick off any member of leadership. It was a very resounding acknowledgement that we need to go forward together and that we need to go forward in a way that helps us beat back the really dangerous and negative Democrat policies.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much. Look, it's just an example. This Republican Party is a very big tent. Everyone's invited in. And you look at the last election, we continue to grow, and in 2 years we'll be the majority. Thank you all very much. It was more than 2 years. Very good.